I love creating cards with clear views transparencies for winter or any season. Now you can too, because I'm sharing a new place you can purchase these beautiful pictures for your card making. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards. I am Karen Hashik, and in this video I am sharing many cards I made with gorgeous winter pictures on acetate like these. I've been lucky to live close to the marketplace in Sainer, Wisconsin, and Jill Lemke, who makes these clear view sheets. Her shop's been closed for a while, but now my friends at Let's Create in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin are stocking and selling these clear view transparencies. As you can see, the transparencies can be used for any season and reason, and here are just a few that I own and can be purchased. There will be a link in the description box that you can click. Take a look at the ones that they have, decide what you want, and then give them a call. I have a whole bunch of them, but I'm just sharing a few today, and I don't know how badly this is glaring in the lights, but this one is called Sunrise, so you can see you could make beautiful pictures with any of these. This one is Sunset, so similar beautiful pictures. This one is called Forest Wanderings. So some of the some are horizontal and some are vertical. So I'm just sharing a quick look at these. Also in my description box will be a link to all the cards that I've made previously and blogged with these. It is so easy to use them. Basically you just need to frame it in some way and put it on a card, and I'm going to show you putting different papers behind them, but it's very, very easy to do. This one is called Rise and Shine, so more beautiful sunset scenes and some cute flowers. We all love butterflies, and here's some beautiful butterfly pictures. And one thing I wanted to point out, if you saw one, let's say you saw this and you wanted to make 8 cards using one of these, you didn't want all of the different pictures, you can request that and Jill will make that up for you. It might take an extra day or two, but for example, I particularly love this scene and I requested a sheet this is from Piece of the Wilderness, the island shot. And so again, you can pick out one and say, I would like a sheet of all that one picture. Here are the winter sheets that I used in the cards I'm sharing in this video. Again, they're just lovely winter pictures. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a card with one of these and this one. And what I wanted to show you was these pictures are really pretty just on plain white paper, which is what is behind these when you purchase it, is just some plain white typewriter paper. But if you take, for example, a sheet of glittery glitter, a glitter sheet, I guess, which can be found anywhere. I bought these at Hobby Lobby, and you put them under. Trying to lift this up so you can see a little bit better. Can you see the difference? They just sparkle, and especially for snowy pictures like that, these are just gorgeous. But if you choose some of these other ones, you can actually put gold or silver or other either glittery or just nice different papers behind it. So if you get any of these, make sure you try all the specialty papers you have in your stash. This type of paper is called Riccio, R-I-C-C-I-O, and I put a link to the paper cut where I know it's available. And I think also if you talk to the ladies at Let's Create, if you're ordering any of these, I know they have some of these sheets, and I think they have some of the glitter sheets too. But it's kind of hard to see, but it's like a it's called Riccio, and it has like a kind of a metallic pattern in there. So once again, instead of on plain white, if you put this type of picture over this, now it's not glittery, but it has that sheen of that paper, so it just makes them just gorgeous to work with. Whoops, wonder where that came from. Anyway, there is this type, and then there's like a wavy type, and then a striped type of Riccio paper that is available, or you can of course check your local stores or online. Here are some cards that I made, and all the details on these cards are going to be on my blog, and all of them are wintry cards, and all of them have some type of opening that I put the picture in, and they have embossing, and they have favorite die. So that was kind of the theme of these cards. This one has that ratio paper behind it, so there's a shimmer there, and that was a very pretty winter card that I made thinking of you. This is one that's over the glittery paper. So I'm hoping you can see that. This is a new die from Birch Press Designs, and a favorite new Warm Winter Wishes, which is from Stamplerations. And like I said, all the details on these cards will be on my blog. This is another favorite new die that I just received from Kreative, and I put the transparencies over the glitter paper, and then I embossed snowflakes on the mirror card from Tonic Studios on that one, and that's another beautiful card that I made. I'm going to be working with a couple of the transparencies on this sheet. So I am going to cut out the old truck. And this pretty snowy sun scene. And as you can see, you get 8 transparency pictures per sheet. So you can make 8 cards. So they're a real bargain. And I did want to mention, and I put it in the description, that Let's Create will also sell these with adhesive on the back. And that is something I did not get, but is very, very nice and convenient. So I do suggest that you might want to consider the extra $1 to get adhesive over the entire back. So they're so easy to attach. I'm going to be using like glue dots and some kind of invisible roller, but it is very nice to have that adhesive on. As you can see, you can use any open die for a border, or you can create one with rectangle dies or whatever you might have. This is the first card that I'm going to make, and I'm going to change it up a little bit, but this lantern die is from Sugar Pea Designs, and this Warm Winter Wishes is from Stamplerations, and I used a Falling Snow embossing folder on this one. But I'm going to, I decided to change it a little bit. I made my lantern out of black mirror card this time, and I used an embossing folder from Darice to just have the snow, the swirls on the side, and I put my Warm Winter Wishes in the inside, and I like to use an embossing folder on the inside and the outside and get the whole thing embossed. So again, that was Sugar Pea Designs and Darice. And I'm also using some of the black, glossy black mirror card from Tonic Studios. I cut a pattern that's going to fit on the back of this lantern, and I'll keep that, and then I cut my sparkly paper out of that. So that is going to fit on the inside of that. And then I'm going to also use this to cut my truck. Let's see what, I think I want the lower part, right? Okay. So I'm going to cut the transparency to also fit the inside of that lantern. And again, I'm using that real sparkly cardstock. So it makes it look like pretty snow. This one I'm going to attach to the glittery paper with some glue dots. And what you try to do is kind of hide the glue dots behind the black areas. That should be good. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to attach this to the back of the lantern. It's not sticking real well, so I'm going to use some of my tape roller. I have kind of an invisible one from Thermoweb. Maybe those glue dots were a little small. Okay, that's better. Now I put some skinny tape on the back of the lantern. And there you can see the pretty old truck with the sparkly snow behind the lantern. And then we'll attach it to the card. And we have a pretty lantern with a sparkly snow scene, embossing, and then warm winter wishes. I'm going to show you one more winter card and how I made it. This one is a warm wishes winter card. I guess I'm continuing the theme, right? I have totally cased this card, which is copy and selectively edit, from a class I took with Jill Lemke, who creates the Clear Views Transparencies at Let's Create. She used this same embossing folder, and I also own it. It's an older one, and there's not a name on it. So I'm not sure. I was leaning towards probably Doris, but again, there's no name on it, but it has such pretty trees in a scene, and then she cut behind those trees to slide the transparency in, and I thought it was such a great idea. I'm also using Warm Wishes from Memory Box and some of my favorite gems from Gina Marie Design, and an old snowflake punch to create this card. And of course, my favorite mirror card also from Tonic. It seems like I use that on almost all my cards lately. So I have an old half of a cutting thing here. I'm not sure even, I guess it didn't fit in something, so I cut it in half, but that works fine for my workspace. So we're going to cut a place to slide the transparency in. So we're basically just cutting around these trees. It doesn't take long at all to do it, and I did want to show you how it was done. We went up to this one and around that one too. So let's just check to see where we might need a little more. Okay, so we have a place we can slide it in. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use the white behind it, and I'm going to trim up close to the picture, right to the edge of the picture. And it's just easier to see if the white is behind it. I'm not going to end up using it, but it's easier to see where the transparency ends when you have white behind it. Now this is that Riccio R-I-C-C-I-O paper again, so it has those wavy kind of lines in there. And so when you slide this in, it might need a little more space. Maybe I can do it with my scissors, huh? Tiny little more space I need. Okay. And we want it to be even at the top and to have those pretty trees, and it looks like we need to trim it a little bit in the back. And then I think I'll just use a piece of regular tape to tape it down once I'm sure it's straight. So now we have that pretty snowy, sunny scene there over this kind of a wavy paper in the background with the embossed trees. So a very pretty look. I've die cut warm wishes from Memory Box, and I am going to use some dots on the rest of it so it goes right where we want it to go. I put a little bit of skinny tape there. It's curving, so it doesn't look like it's going to go all the way down, but that's fine. And then we're going to attach that to the blue layer. And then to the light blue A2 card base. And then I have punched a snowflake. It's an old punch, but of course any snowflake or embellishment will do. And I always have to give my snowflakes a gem. And these are my favorites from Gina Marie Designs. And so we have another Warm Wishes with a gorgeous transparency picture and the sun shining through. I love creating cards for any season with clear views transparencies over unique papers. I hope you get some, then check your stash and see what papers, dies, and embossing folders you already own to make some gorgeous cards with transparencies. Thanks for watching, sharing, subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.